been a long week, trying to make ends meet.
Hey YouTube, before we get into this week's episodes of car repair of the windshield wiper motor and some AC repair, let's take a quick look at some photo montages of how far we've come. All right, YouTube, so here's the challenge. The car is done, ready to go. And I've gotten it to the point where it's ready for an inspection, almost. So in order to drive it in the state of Virginia, I had to buy a 3-day permit because it's still considered a crash damage vehicle. It hasn't been inspected yet. I bought that on Saturday and I drove the car yesterday for the first time after getting the front clamshell on, and it drove beautifully. The only thing that didn't work was the windshield wipers. And so I need to get those windshield wipers working within the next 24 hours because I've got an appointment to get my state inspection tomorrow morning. I look on Lotus Talk and I've got 2 potential answers. So the first is that the windshield motor under that cover right there sometimes gets disconnected. And remember, I was washing under there a little while ago. There's a chance maybe I got some water in there, I got it disconnected. The other option is it could be the relay that's under the dash. You know how much fun those are to contort yourself for. So I'm going to try and pull the relay for the windshield wiper under the dash and get a new one of those. And then I'm also going to check that motor connection first before I do anything. Okay, so in fixing this windshield wiper issue, I think it's going to be the motor that's frozen again. Remember, everything here was underwater, and motors and electricity don't work well together. So I found, just by feeling over here, that there's 3 bolts on the bottom, on the underside here, connecting this motor on the bottom. I'm going to undo those and see if I can just take the motor out, just pull it straight out. If I look in the repair manual that I have, it says I have to take the front clamshell off, to take the whole housing out and everything else. That's not what I think is going wrong. I think it's just the motor, so I'm going to try to just take the motor out. Alright, there's the first bolt. Okay, so I was able to get the motor out. It is 3 number 10 hex head bolts. It sits like this. Those 3 bolts are here on the bottom. And it sits like this. And then there's a 13 millimeter in the middle there that connects it to the actual wiper mechanism. And look, there's a whole section I still need to clean right there. So I'm gonna clean that and then hopefully be able to move this wiper back and forth. Okay, so I was able to get the wiper motor out there. This little thing is in the middle, and that one gets fastened to the middle of the wiper motor with a 13 millimeter bolt on the end of it. These are 3 10 millimeter bolts that come up from the bottom into the motor. I'll show you the motor here. There's the motor, and as it sits in the space, it's like that. No, sorry, like this. As it sits in that space. Mine is seized from being underwater, is my guess. This will not, that shaft will not spin at all. So, got a new motor coming. Found it at AutoZone for $100. And hopefully it'll be a quick switch out. Put my relays back in and hopefully it'll work and I can pass inspection. So where we left it the other day was that this windshield wiper motor, I think, is frozen up. So I went and got another windshield wiper motor. Unfortunately, when you get a windshield wiper motor for a Lotus, it comes with the whole linkage. So I've got a windshield wiper motor linkage here. that I had to get along with it. There are no markings on this anywhere that I've found. I'm thinking of opening it and trying to sort of refurbish it maybe. Maybe attach it to that linkage and I might be able to sell a used part or something like that. We'll see. But for now, tonight, I'm going to try and install this new motor into the old linkage and the old housing there without taking the clam off. I took it off without taking the clam off, so I should be able to get it back in. It's just a matter of doing it. So that's my project for tonight, because tomorrow I have to try and get this car inspected, and it won't pass inspection if the windshields don't work, or windshield wiper doesn't work. So that's my goal for tonight. Wish me luck. It's really hard to see. I'm by finger screwing in one of the 3 connecting points here, and then I'll tighten it once it gets to the end. I'll show you what I'm doing on my broken one. The 3 screws go into these 3 parts here, and the motor sits like this. And so what I was doing is putting the bolt in there that locks it in. I've already got this one and that one. The hardest one is this back one here. So that one's next. Darn it. I'm also replacing my flasher relay. This is the flasher relay. I'm going to try and reuse this wiper relay. It could be busted. I've got another one coming, but it won't be here for a couple days. So I'll put this in. It's not hard to replace if I need to. You can pull it out pretty easy. Here underneath the dash, I've just pulled that relay out, and it goes like that. So let me get the other relay, and I will replace it. I may look goofy, but I'm using my eye protection. Gonna be spraying cleaner, contact cleaner in a tight space, working upside down. Don't want to get stuff in my eyes. So this is me with eye protection. Okay, so I think I got them both in. Here they are. There's the relays both in. You can see them just behind there. So if the wiper relay works, I should be able to just start everything up and the wiper should go again. I've replaced the fuse that blew. I'll take these off now. I replaced the fuse that blew. It was in this fuse connection right here. That I'm tapping with my other hand. I replaced the fuse in there. And so now everything should be good to go. Let me go get the car key and we'll turn it on and we'll see. So yesterday when I was driving home from the Lotus Fest, East Coast Lotus Fest, at one point I turned on the air conditioner and my wife who was driving behind me said, hey, there's a big puff of smoke that came out. And so I was looking today for air conditioning system leaks. She said it looked like it came from the front. So what I've done is I've got my UV light here, and if I shine my UV light up here, you can see that there's green here. And so something tells me that my connection that I made likely leaked. You can see the green from the dye. And that's in that front wheel well area. So when I get to trying to fix the AC again, because I want AC at some point, I'm going to have to look at that connection and my O-rings there, redo that connection, and then try to refill it. When I looked at the dye, I had UV dye in my AC system. It was all in this general area. So when I came home, I connected my gauges, and there was still some pressure in my lines, and it started bubbling out from right there. So I think that while I was doing my track driving, maybe, I must have messed up that connection there. So the O-ring. So I'm going to replace the O-ring, and I'm going to reconnect that setting and then draw a vacuum again and see if I can get my AC back working the way it should. That is the connector that failed right here. And on the inside of that condenser, when I use my borescope, it looks like the tube is twisted back there. So I wonder if sort of under higher pressure or elevated pressure that got messed up. So I'll probably have to get another line here. There's galling on this, on that connector right there. When I opened it up, it had peeled some away. And I also put a cap over the pressure release valve here in hopes that, in case that was something that busted out also, but we'll see. I will get a new receiver dryer, probably a new line, and go from there. Well, so my AC isn't going to get fixed, I think, for this summer, unfortunately. I haven't put the clamp back on. I'm not really ready to take it off again too soon. And it looks like I probably need to get some parts. Specifically, the line that goes to the receiver dryer, there was some galling on the connection there. That's the line that actually failed, or the connection that failed. And then when I looked using my borescope at that tube, there's actually a turn in the condenser too. So I'm gonna need a new condenser. So a new condenser, a new line to the condenser, and possibly I have to look at the other line as well. Yeah, not gonna have air conditioning this summer because those repairs that's gonna take a little bit longer, I'm afraid. Or at least as of today, I'm not going to, I'll say that. But who knows? Well, maybe I'll change my mind. I'll at least order the parts, get the parts here so that when it comes time to making those changes and taking the front clam off again to get the condenser off, I can do that. So that's my plan. Okay, so because I want to end this video on a fun note, not a repair note or anything like that, a couple things. So I'm gonna show a 2-minute and 19-second video of a lap that I did when I was at Summit Point. It was just a touring lap, but it's the fastest I've ever driven in the car on a track, I guess. That's actually the only time I've ever driven the car on a track. And so I think I'd share that with you. If you want to skip ahead on that one, you just double click on the right side of the screen 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then you only have 19 seconds to watch. But if you want to check it out. I'd love to see your comments on my driving in the comments section, right? Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. And then as soon as that 2-minute and 19-second video section is done, I'm going to end with my psychology snippet. So that's what we'll do. And that'll be the end of this video. Hope to see you on the next one, and have a great weekend. Okay, psychology snippet time, right? Sometimes progress doesn't look like finishing every repair exactly on time, right? Sometimes progress is knowing which problems to solve today and which ones can wait or which things you can push off. So the psychological concept I want to talk about today is that of intentional restraint, knowing when the right time is to approach a problem and when the right time is to push something away. In therapy, we do that. Oftentimes, the psychologist will allow the patient to decide when they think that the problem is the right time to talk about. And that often comes after developing rapport and really establishing a good relationship with somebody. So it can be similar, something similar can be said to working on the car. I feel like I've got a good understanding of what the AC problem is, but it's not something I feel like I want to approach right now because I just took the clamshell off and put it back on again, so I don't want to approach it right now. So this isn't the right time for that, and that's okay. We call that intentional restraint. And in repair, I think intentional restraint is a critical feature, a critical thing. I was able to fix the windshield wiper motor, and I was able to get the car back on track, literally, which is pretty cool. So, sometimes there's a saying that discretion is the better part of valor. I think what that means is that you know which problems to fix or address today and which ones can be pushed off a little bit. To me, the AC repair can be pushed off a little bit, and I call that intentional restraint, and that's the psychology of repair snippet for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so please remember to like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'd love to see your comments down below if anything strikes you about this video today. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.
It's been a long week trying to make ends meet, going nowhere fast. I'm